More now on yesterday's bomb blast in Bangkok, which left 20 people dead and more than 100 injured. A high-ranking Thai official has confirmed to the BBC that the authorities have already questioned a suspect from the attack and are looking for another. Well, let's talk now to Saksit Sayasombut, who's a Thai political blogger. He joins me now from Hamburg. Hello to you. Thanks very much indeed for being with us. First of all, what's your strongest hunch as to who may be behind the blast yesterday?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't have a stronger hunch because this attack is very unprecedented in scale, in damage, and also the willingness of the perpetrators, the cold willingness to cause maximum damage as much as possible. So, and because of that, it doesn't fit into the pattern of any domestic political faction, whether it's the anti-junta group. They wouldn't do that because it would cause more harm than good. It doesn't fit into the Muslim insurgent separatists in the deep south of Thailand as well, because they don't operate as far as Bangkok. So at this point, it's pretty much anybody's guess.
Sure. I mean, the government seems to be indicating from our correspondents in Bangkok that the government is indicating that perhaps its opposition forces who are rallied against the military government.
Well, the problem is when we are looking at an investigation, first of all, any kind of investigative, transparent police investigation or authority investigation is actually pretty hard to come by in Thailand. And whenever the military gets involved, it tends to get very politicized. You have to keep in mind that Thailand is under a hawkish military government since a coup in May 2014, and is very eager to have a tight grip on the on power and also on the narrative. So you would guess that they might easily point the finger to anybody's at their rivals, even though so far up until now they have been very timid to do that.
I mean, we know that the Foreign Office here in the UK are saying that Thailand is still a safe country to go to, and Bangkok, the capital, is okay to go to as well. From your perspective, does that make sense, that kind of travel advice?
I think so, still much so, even though I'm not a security expert, I'm a political expert, but I would still basically advise tourists that go to Thailand to listen to the advice of their foreign ministries, of their foreign office, and to of course to exercise some common sense there. But having said that, as I said, the unprecedented scale of the attack is that we may or may not be into charted territory. And it all comes down to what answers the Thai authorities will come up in the next couple of days. Whether it will be substantial, whether there's any truth to that, that is another story.
We know that hundreds, more than 1,000 people have travelled from the region, from Southeast Asia, heading towards the Middle East to fight for Islamic State. Is that clearly a line of inquiry that perhaps the authorities may be looking at too?
It is very unlikely at this point that there might be a undercurrent of Islamic jihad extremism coming to Thailand. As I said before, the insurgency in the south of Thailand, the separatists, they are very isolated to their own coast in the south of Thailand, in the region, which is 13 car hours away from Bangkok. And the fears by Thai authorities that maybe the IS, the Islamic State, has undermined the movement down in the south is rather based on ignorance rather than fact.
There were a number of Chinese tourists who were caught up in all of this. The suggestion, again, is that perhaps there may be some kind of link there between Muslim separatists and activists in China trying to attack those Chinese tourists.
The link here is a month ago, the Thai military government has deported 109 Uyghur refugees back to China under protest by the international community. But so far, the outrage has been mostly isolated in Turkey, in Istanbul and Ankara, where the Thai consulate and the embassy respectively have been attacked and damaged. To be very honest with you, I don't quite see that link as well, that they would actually carry out a revenge attack in Bangkok as well. Again, it would do that cause more harm than good, and also you have to keep in mind you don't really know how many people and how many nationalities you're actually going to hit with that kind of bomb attack.
Okay, Saksit Sayasombut, a Thai political blogger. Thanks very much indeed for joining us. Thank you.